Hi and welcome to my shop. I was thinking I'm going to do a review on this old Wadkin, so I'm sorry for my voice, I have a bit of a cold at the moment. This is a Wadkin burst screen BGS 12-inch saw, sliding panel saw. This one was probably manufactured sometimes in the 50s, like 1954, so I believe I tracked it down to. It's a good solid model. It's a sliding table saw, which you practically cannot wear out. This one has a 5 horsepower engine, 3-phase, of course, as everything in Europe is. So it's really quite powerful, and the discs are 300 millimeters or 12 inches wide, so it's got quite the capacity. I believe it's 95 millimeters cutting depth as most, and I've never managed to stress that out. Even if I'm cutting 90 millimeter oak, it just continues to chew it. It's got a pretty standard. This is a standard Wadkin fence system. I've tuned this one up for. Took me about a year to get it right, but here it is. I'm gonna sell it. That's typical. So slides fairly easy. Slides fairly easily. I also have this auxiliary fence here. Because this original fence is quite crooked, so I managed to mount this and to make everything straight, parallel with the tracks and the blade. Everything is set up. It's a fairly good concept, I believe. Works good enough for me. The cutting capacity is something like 65 centimeters, 650 millimeters when you're ripping. This saw can be equipped with an extension cable, and if you put it into sliding mode, that mechanism, that extra cable follows the sliding mechanism back and forth. So having this extra space when cutting sheet goods is really good. Well, all you need is an outfeed table, but this one is good since you can remove it pretty easily. I also built this very big sled I'll show it in another video. But this is great to use. It's really used with this table saw because it's supported all the way out here, and this also gets support all the way, so it's really exact, really precise when you use this. Also very good to use miter since it's an adjustable version of the sled. The hardware on this one is UJK from Maxminster, so it's pretty solid, good table saw. Made it out of 80mm birch plywood. Very good. And if you can, of course, you can use this along with the table, sliding table if you prefer to. I've never really seen a reason to do that. I've also been using this table saw a lot with this incrementor. This is the 1000 HD miter gauge, and it's also pretty fantastic. If I want to extend this, I can extend it really far. This one is really trimmed in to be used with this saw. So if I have some bigger sheet. If I have some bigger sheet that I want to with this, just use this. And the piece of support all the way out to the end there. It's really good. The dimensions of the saw are, the table is 1,020 millimeters, 102 centimeters, with 86 centimeters depth. I believe it should, oh yes, 65, 86.5, 865 millimeters. I believe the table saw sliding action is something like 630 millimeters. But it's not very much on a saw like this, but it usually does the trick. You can also use the saw in this mode if you want to, because it's just fine like this. So you have a big supporting on the back, cut with it in the front position. This set up the work area for these. Here is 156 centimeters, which is a lot of sand on the left side of the blade is 95 centimeters, so that's quite good. That's actually really good. To release the sliding table now, it is in the locked position here, so I'm not going to be able to move this. I just pull this knob and this little bracket falls into place, and now the table can slide freely. And to lock it again, I just pop that one up, pull it back. This is the width at the angle of the cut. I just installed a new handle here. This one is spinnable. The original ones aren't. The original handle was missing when I bought this saw, but it spins fairly easily. To raise and lower the blade, simply just screw this one. This one is, of course, this is an old saw, but it's fairly good. This hand doesn't spin. This is, if it would have done that, it wouldn't be much better. I haven't cared to replace it because I typically use the blade in the top position all the time. So that is the maximum depth of cut. So that is the maximum depth of cut, I believe. Change batteries. So that one says about 93 millimeters. That seems correct. I believe the spec says 95. Probably can crank that up 2 more millimeters if I want to. Pretty close. So the fence locking mechanism is just a lever. There should be a fine adjustment knob here. This saw was missing that one. The underside of this bar is having a sort of a thread, so you can turn this knob. The locking mechanism locks into the same thread, so when you lock it on, it's not going to move anywhere. It's rock solid. And the front part of the fence has this extra locking mechanism, which can engage or disengage. Now I typically have this pretty tight. I don't think it's very. If this can flex like a half a millimeter, that's not a big deal. So it should be not be able to flex more than that. But such a little amount wouldn't affect your cut. This fence is set up to be very parallel. You've got some adjustment knobs, adjustment screws on this fence. They are located underneath this this wooden rail I have here. So you just untie those, and in this case I do have this bar as well, so I'm gonna have to untie that one to align the fence. I don't think this one is original, but I don't know for sure, but I don't think it is. I think someone put it there, but it makes the fence really good anyway, so thanks for anyone who did that. But just untie those and or undo those, and you align the fence properly with a dial indicator or whatever tool you choose to use. So this table also comes with a big sort of mighty works gauge or mighty whatever. Got these slots here. These slots are for mounting different for various tools. But these are for fixed fences. There are also double mighty gauge you can purchase with this. So I believe they are on pretty available on the second-hand market, but they're very expensive. So in order to use this fence, simply you can put it back here also. I'm just going to show this for demonstration. Something to lock it in, and then you pull through the bolt down here, and you sort of align it. There's also a possibility to add a bolt down here, and unlock the table and have a fixed 90-degree bar at the end of the table. So that's pretty practical. I typically don't use it because I never really trimmed it in, so it's not very exact at the moment. I don't know why. It's probably doable to sort of adjust this so this one is exact, but I haven't done it because I think it's too clumsy. But if you have a setup where you do a little 90 degrees kind of with these dimensions, sure, just use it. It's probably awesome. Oh yeah, this bar also comes with, or it should come with a couple of these locking devices. These are flip stops. Now these won't work with this extra fence that I put yourself, but if you remove this, you can mount this directly on here and have flip stop. I believe there are 3 of these. They're pretty sightly. Really like the look of them. I like this lever here. It's very beautiful work. In order to remove the side table, because it's not always that you want this configuration. So this one is locked in with a couple of insect threads here. I don't believe I locked this one in very tightly. And this one is very heavy, so I'm going to have to move the camera out of the way to do this. You should also lock this one in so this doesn't flip up on you. Well, this is at least 20-25 kilograms, so it's quite heavy. So this side rail, there are different versions of this as well, so it doesn't always come with this sturdy. This is the heavy duty side rail. There's also a more flimsy one, which is basically a metal frame, and the extension table isn't that rigid as well. But so this is the heavy duty one, and this one weighs a ton. I believe it must be weighing like 50 kilograms. It's very heavy. These rods that are here, they're just stuck into the machine. They can be locked. I haven't done that. And they can also be locked into this. There is also a plate that mounts on here, so you don't have to see this side. Didn't mount this for the demonstration, but I got it at least. So let's see how this goes. So with these 2 rods that attach that unit to the saw itself, quite a good setup actually for an old table saw. It's It's very rigid, everything. I like it. But now it's just a base unit left, and it's pretty small actually. It doesn't leave a very very big footprint, and it's very movable. So I got to put some of this wheelbase so I can push it around the workshop, and it's served me very well for a couple of years. So I modified where I built the dust extraction for this, because originally in the original state this kind of saw doesn't have an extraction at all. So I got sort of two chambers in here, and there is really no way to do this, because when you tilt the blade, this engine has to go somewhere, and tilt down until it hits this one, which is exactly 45 degrees. So I believe I have like 5 millimeters clearance for that here. So if I would like to modify that, I would have to cut out something from here, but then I would have less dust collection. So that is the upper chamber, so to speak. I will always leave a bit of sawdust here, because it actually seals the corners of the implementation of this. And down there is other extractor. So these are connected just to a 100 millimeter system. The one above there is 125. This one is 100 millimeters. That doesn't really matter. This works very well, and you see everything that is around the actual exit is sucked down. So can't expect much better than this. And if you check on the floor here, it's not very much leaking out, and it's all like this. And if I wouldn't have built this place would have been, spattered with sawdust. So I believe this is a very good implementation. It's as good as, or it's at least as good as I can do with this machine. And there are various reasons why you cannot encapsulate the saw blade as you can on other saws. Pretty much basically because there are no space in this machine when the blade is tilted. So that's a big minus, but this is best effort, and it's been serving me really well. To change the blade on this saw, you actually have to retract the table a bit. Like so, and this is also the way you do if you're going to mount a data stack or a molder, because the space here, this isn't a lot of space, so you can adjust this table at any position, and lock it right there. So as long as the table is fixed, and you can use the table saw like this. So I can do this. Pull it in the position, slide it back, and that way I can easily access the nut here. Now this is a lefty tighty righty loosey. This was a reverse thread, so remember that. In order to change the blade, you gotta stick something down here. That's where I do it. Like so. Now the nut should be loose. You can loosen it, replace the blade. This just has a 1 inch diameter, that's 25.4 millimeters rod here. So in order to use this with the European standard 30 millimeter table saw blades, we had to have an adapter ring in the end here, but that's just fine. So, and slide this back in. And lock the table. So this table saw is also equipped with the disconnection switch. I also believe there's an engine protection that handles that we cannot overload the engine. So this one will break before the engine does. So if that one isn't powered up, the saw won't start. that would mean that I allow current to stream to this connection switch here. So there's also an engine brake inside of this unit that reverses the power. Every tool should have it, because if the power breaks, or current, or well, every unit should have one, because if the power goes down for some reason and comes up back again, you don't want to have your two power apps. I'm going to illustrate this by I can break the power behind the camera here. So I'm going to spin the saw up, break the power, and illustrate that when the power comes back on, so it's not going to start. So there you see the power's back on, but the table's wasn't spinning. I should now turn this one up, turn this one down, turn this one on again. And that is a great feature to have. Everyone should. That is a great feature to have. Everyone should have. Can't understand anyone that doesn't implement it. This is a sort of strange thing. I haven't read on what it's supposed to do. Maybe someone can tell me. If you do know that, tell me in the comment section, because I don't know what this is. And that's really all I can tell about this table. So it's cast grade, it's a great machine. If you can get hold of one and need a pretty small but fairly stable table saw that can do ripping and dimensioning of goods, you should get one of these, because they are fairly cheap. I believe this one goes for, in this condition, about 1,000 to 1,500 euros in Sweden. So it's really good buy. Thanks for watching.